As you say, legitimate protest, of course, is allowed, and the big question is it justified at this time? It's less than 24 hours on from that attack, and there is a man in hospital with potentially life-changing injuries. We await for updates on him, and it's members of the community who came to his rescue last night.
Yeah.
And, you know, we now have protesters on the streets where he was attacked, where that community came together to rescue him. And these are the scenes. You know, these are hard to justify. As you said, protest is legitimate.
They can't
but
be...
Is there a fear that this will be hijacked by those with alternative agendas, not not the man at the centre of this, the man that's been attacked?
It's already been hijacked, as you can see in the screen in front of you, whenever we have buses set on fire, whenever we have public services that are ruined, that are supposed to actually serve the community who are raising issues with what happened last night. What I will say is just last week in Northern Ireland, we had the sentencing of a killer who absolutely brutally murdered a young woman here in Northern Ireland with a knife, stabbed dozens of times, but yet we didn't see a call for protest on the streets like this. So there is no doubt that this issue has been hijacked by people who do want to further their own agenda. And of course, people do have a right to protest, but they have no right to do this at all.
Nuala McAllister, what would you say to those who are hijacking this tragic event tonight?
I would say to them that they need to look at what their actions are actually doing to their own communities. They're not only frightening people who are from here, but also people who have come to live and work here, who serve our very NHS and health service, to the very people in our communities who need help, from health workers that have been sent home tonight. They haven't been able to access their homes and serve the people that these so-called protesters are saying that they're to protect. That's not what this is about, and they should go home. And if they are protesting lawfully and peacefully, they have every right to do that. But if they are not furthering anyone's agenda, and they're not doing right by anyone's cause.
Nuala McAllister, large pockets are gathering in various points in Belfast. Our helicopter here is showing live scenes of just one part of the city, but we have seen several pockets of large groups. Yeah. And the fear is that, you know, it's light at the moment, there's a break in the rain, but it will soon be dark. Are you fearful of what will happen under the anonymity of darkness in Belfast tonight?
One thing that does have to be highlighted is just last year and the year before, there was violence and disorder on the streets of Belfast following an incident that had happened in which people were later released and charges were withdrawn. And there was disorder on the streets, but not only on the streets, people were driven from their homes. There were mobs that surrounded people's homes simply because of what they looked like, from ethnic minority backgrounds and communities, and that's not acceptable. And I have very real concerns, as does the police service, as do many political representatives, that this will only get worse as the evening goes on. Now, the police do have a presence right across Belfast, but there is no doubt that this is stretching police resources, and I do believe that is something that those organisers behind this have attempted to do and want to do as well. And it's very important that the police do have the support of political representatives to try and calm the rhetoric that we see spreading on social media, and so this cannot continue to build up on our streets.
And important for those to know that if this does escalate this evening, they will face the full force of the law.
Absolutely, as they should. As should the attacker last night in this instance. No matter where he is from, who he is, he should face the full weight of the law. And that is clear both from the police service and from political representatives. But if you take that and use that as an excuse to protest and carry out criminal behaviour yourself, then you too will also face the full weight of the law, as you should. And the police may not arrest you this evening, but they can make multiple arrests in the days and weeks ahead. And that is what happened last year and the year before when we saw this disorder on the streets of Northern Ireland.